welcome to the Fisher Protocol, the show where saying The Who is the greatest rock and roll band of all time is not subjective, but everything else is. Please take a quick second to like, subscribe, and share us with your Who-minded friends. Only Who-minded friends. Please don't bring anyone else in here that's not a Who-minded friend, okay? Every once in a while, we'll go to do other things. Maybe Florence and the Machine will come up. Maybe Tool will come up. Maybe some of the weird music Betsy likes will come up. I don't know, like, what was it, Yes or Rick Wakeman or something?
Rick Wakeman.
Yeah, this is a Who channel. Okay, so Who-minded friends. The Who is a passion of ours. This is more of a personal journey, and no money is made from these videos. Yet. So liking and subscribing lets us know we're not alone in Who-land. Constructive feedback is always welcome, either in the comments below, or you can follow me as I spout Who-related content on Twitter and Instagram, at Fisher Protocol. You can also follow Bets where...
Oh, I'm at disco_remix. Right now, I am the CEO of John the Entwistle fan club.
Nice. And, Tom, you don't want people to follow you, do you?
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't know any of my handles, though.
Oh, okay. Well, you can find them. Face talk me, and you'll find Tom. It's very easy.
Yeah.
I'm Ethan. I'm being joined today by, as you know, my best Who friends, Tom and Bets. We do not claim to be experts, just three fans who like to talk about the greatest rock and roll band of all time. Reminder... that band is The Who. Okay? So, Bets, you have the cursed shirt.
I have the cursed shirt on. This shirt is so bad.
Tell us the story of the shirt.
Well, I got it at Target, and I paid $15 for it, which is probably $12 more than it's worth. It looks like one of those bootlegs that they sell you in the parking lot by some cult, and all I can think of is that it is official Who merchandise. So... maybe they handed the design to Pete and he said, "Oh, do I look good?" And the other guys look like garbage. Let me sign off on this. Thank you, Bill. It is a terrible shirt. Real quick? Oh God. You don't want to see this. It hurt your eyes. There it is. It is so,
yeah.
It's so bad.
We only have purple. So, because we love that shirt so much and Target's everywhere, we had a 300th subscriber, Tobias, on Twitter.
Nice.
And we sent him one of those cursed Who shirts as a thank you.
I'm sorry.
But he also got a copy of the CD Who, their last studio album. So thank you very much for that. We are now at 303. The goal is to get to 905 and then stop taking subscribers, right? 105 subscribers is all we want.
Not 515.
Right. No, 905, because we love John Entwistle here, right?
We do. We stand in this house.
I said if John Entwistle was a religion, we'd convert, and we would. Sorry if rigor mortis sets in was a bummer for some people. The review of that, reason why I started this channel was because I wanted to be a Who fan, and being a Who fan doesn't mean you have to like everything they put out. And it's obvious, and has been pointed out to us sometimes, that we don't. There's a lot of things we don't like.
But what's the fun in liking everything?
Huh?
What's the fun in liking everything?
Yeah, I don't know. But today we're going to like something.
Yes.
Yeah, today we listened, last week we did Rigor Mortis Sets In on our John Entwistle journey. And we're not going in chronological order for some reason I made up that I forgot about already. Today we're going to go with John Entwistle, Smash Your Head Against the Wall. Okay? And this, I'm going to read the top of the Wikipedia. Released in May 1971 by Trek Records in the UK and Decca Records in the US, Smash Your Head Against the Wall was the first solo album by any member of the rock band The Who. It was born out of Entwistle's frustrations within the band, namely not having as much of his songs featured in their albums as he would have liked, and it features a guest appearance by The Who's drummer Keith Moon on one track, number 9, External Youth, as well as strong musical influences from the band's work. And later on it goes to say that Pete Townsend went to say, "We learned more from John making this album than we had in all the years he played bass with us, because he did it and it spoke to us." So, high praise from close source. Before we get started, general impressions? Tom?
I loved it. It was a good album. I thought that you got a good sense of who John was and his songwriting style. It was definitely a little less silly than Rigor Mortis, but still had, there was some happy sounding songs with morbid themes, and Lots of bass heavy musical parts of the album. So yeah, I thought it showcased John's skill set very well.
Beth, how'd you feel?
It's a great, great record. And I mean, it kicks ass. It is, of course, again, Whistle Rhymes is my favorite, but that's a personal preference. This one is just, it's spot on. It's great.
I really, really enjoyed it very much. Out of all the albums that almost we've done on here so far, it's one that I didn't listen to before that I'll listen to more now. Yeah. Going forward, and that's a lot because I don't like listen to stuff sometimes, which is not true. But anyway, it's the album I have here, autographed. Anyway, as I always have to point out here, no matter what happens, and I'm very familiar. We'll open up with My Size. I was very familiar with this song anyway because it's on anthologies I've had. It's like the first. And it's kind of the quintessential John Entwistle solo song, almost. And it might lead you to believe the album is going to be very Black Sabbath-y type heavy. But I don't think the album ends up being that at all. But I love the riff. It's an amazing riff and it's an amazing song. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like this slow, like throbbing, like heavy, like you said, Black Sabbath ish type song. I could have used a little more edge to it, like I don't know, just on the sonic spectrum, just a little more treble would have been, I thought, good. But other than that, though, it's a great song, great solo by the guitar player Dave Langston. Yeah, good song.
Bets?
It's an amazing track to open this record with because it is like Black Sabbath, that same era. It's sonically like super close, I feel like, to Live at Leeds. And what I didn't know for years, and this was the first solo album I had by him, was that this was a sequel to Boris the Spider. And I didn't get it, and I didn't get it, and I didn't get it until recently. I was listening to it again, and I was like, the final few notes of the song are Boris the Spider, the na 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 na, and I was like, okay, I got it. But it's a kick-ass opening song for this album, really.
You just cracked my whole brain open.
You didn't know that? I heard it for years, and I'm like, how is this a sequel to Boris the Spider? But it is a sequel to Boris the Spider.
I had read that last night too, yeah.
Now you're always hanging around, you never touch the ground. I'm going to make you feel so small. I wish I was 10 feet tall. That's insane. That's totally not a spider. Oh, I didn't know that. There you go, guys. Like I said, not experts, just fans, right? It's interesting you bring up the mix, Tom, because there is online, there are breakdowns. There are many different mixes of this album.
Yeah, I heard this song's the one that's got like multiple mixes.
Yeah, and there was two when it was re-released, and I think I was able to get a copy of one of those, and that's what I sent you guys to check out.
Yeah.
So I don't really get into that, which mix sounds like what? It's almost too much information.
Yeah.
And I believe Dave Langston you're talking about is called Psy, and he ended up being like John Entwistle's body man for a very long time after this.
Yeah.
Right. Good. No, go ahead.
Oh, and he was in a band like prior to joining up with the Who, and so that's his guitar work is pretty solid on this record.
It is, and there's more of it on "Pick Me Up, Big Chicken." What'd you think of that, Tom?
Good song. A familiar line that you'll hear us say, I think, throughout the entire review is just how strong the bass playing is. Especially in this song, I really liked it. Good use of the horns. It just sounds like a fun song about a good night out with the boys having a bunch of beers. So definitely could relate.
Did John play piano on this whole thing? So it looks like it. So
you want to know something else about that piano?
Yeah.
That piano is the same piano that plays on Bohemian Rhapsody.
And John used it before Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, exactly. So when you hear Bohemian Rhapsody, you say, "Oh, Thank you, Smash Your Head Piano.
That's uh, Pick Me Up Big Chicken is kind of indicative of the rest of the album more than My Size is, right?
Yeah.
What made me think of was that Paul Weller self-titled album, and then that first song is Oh Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but it's this almost Beatley mix of, you know, horns, bass, piano, and all this like Strawberry Fields instrumentation like towards the end of it. And really, really, I think the word I read was psychedelic, and I really like that word for it. Anything will pick me up, Bets? Anything specific?
Is it the bass that has that like almost bell sound to it? I mean, that whole thing is like that sound is so great. And we talked last episode about rigor mortis and the kind of lazy bass solo that was on that. And then, like I said, it segued into on YouTube because I streamed it on YouTube to this one, and I was like, that bass, that ringing bass is just crazy. It sounds wild that he could get that sound out of it. Is it the bass?
Maybe if I heard it, like right
Yeah.
I'd be able to tell you.
Well, whatever that is, it's wild. It's so cool.
I just love the marriage of the horns and the bass and the piano on this whole album. It's just really good.
Yeah.
Another song I was really familiar with already is "What Are We Doing Here." That's a big one. That's on your John Entwistle hit CDs, of course. But like I said before, the last time, like made in Japan, and it's like 905. It's this compressed guitar ballad with this gentleman that has a very high voice and sings like an angel when he chooses to. I love the song. I've loved it for years.
Yeah, no, it's impressive how incredible of a singer John is, and you can hear like I think he double tracked the vocals, and I don't know, it blows my mind how good of a singer he is if he wants to be. Just a song about being on tour, or it seems like being on tour. I don't know, it doesn't make any exact references, but yeah, love it.
Wasn't this? Didn't I read something about this today, Bets, that you posted?
Yes, it basically what happened was they were in a pub in the U.S. Oh no, sorry, in Canada, in Alberta, Canada, and they were on tour at 68, and they got thrown out of the bar for being dirty hippies, and that kind of inspired him to write this song. So it's a road song, just this song blows my mind, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. It's my favorite song, period, of anybody, and it's about homesickness, and it's just it's a vulnerable song, and like we know he didn't like show vulnerability, but he got married in 67 in June. He's on tour by July. They're doing the States. They're doing Scandinavia. They get to 68. They're doing Australia, and then back in the States, and then Canada. And the tour was relentless. And I think at that point, like you're exhausted, and your nerves are frayed, and you go into this bar, and he's in a three-piece, he's in a suit and tie, and he gets thrown out, and he's just like, just this moment, and he put it down on vinyl, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and I like how you said it's like a vulnerable side, because it really does remind me of Too Late the Hero somewhat.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Which is a big song for me. So yeah, I like it when he gets in this lane. I wish he had done it a little bit more, but John is John, right?
Yeah. In fact, he wrote about it in a letter, like he wrote it to his mother. And that's what made me think about I went back to Joe McMichael's book, because I wanted to see, like, from the day he was married, how many shows they had done. And I was like, wow, this is a lot, for a newly married person. And like I said, he just wanted to go back home. And so you're just literally counting down the days and the hours and the minutes. We've all been there. But like I said, he wrote a letter home about the incident. And then at the end of the letter, he kind of, as a PS, he says, take care of Allison. I left her on the doorstep crying last time I saw her. And I was like, if you play that song and you think about that, it really does sort of it just it it does. It's overwhelming, but I love this song. I absolutely love this song.
Well, that's why we listen to music. So
yes.
Then it goes back to like the full psychedelic thing, right? With some sorrowful horns, and it's what kind of people are they? And I guess the main thing is I look at the landscape of when this was released, right? It's 1971, right? So there's Who's Next, which is the one that counts, and then there's like what, Led Zeppelin 4. I don't know how close we are. It's just there's a whole documentary on Apple TV right now just about music in 1971. But this things like this album and its general take with these songs, these psychedelic songs, really make me think of more like 1968 kind of things, like Incense and Peppermints, kind of like I Think It's So Groovy Now kind of stuff. But I really liked it. Tom, what do you think?
I honestly didn't particularly care for this song, and if I had to pick one on the album that I didn't care for, this was definitely in that mix. So I mean, the subject of the song I thought was pretty good, but I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, understandable. Bets, anything?
I'm with Tom a little bit on this one. This one is sort of Old Man Yells at Cloud. Okay. It would fit in really well with Whistle Rhymes, though. It's a real Whistle Rhymesy kind of tune. Okay. So, yeah.
The next song was a bit surprising to me. I knew it was on the record, but I wasn't expecting to hear this version of Heaven and Hell. Unlike Rigor Mortensen, I almost liked. There's 9 songs on there. I really liked 8 of them. You know what I mean? And this is one of the ones I really liked on it. It's just slowed down. It's really acidy. It's drenched with horns and compression and choruses, and I really liked this version of Heaven and Hell.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and I had to kind of try to release myself from Live at Leeds, Heaven and Hell, because that's the one I hear in my head when I hear that song, or when I think about that song, and they're completely different animals. So it took me, I mean, halfway through the song, I was like, all right, yeah, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but yeah, when I think of this song, I cannot erase Live at Leeds version. It's tough to get rid of that.
Bets?
See, I'm just the opposite. This was my first Heaven and Hell.
Right.
Nice. I didn't hear the live version until years later. So this is the one I'm used to. So when I heard the live ones, I was like, again, it's a great John song because it is just the absurdity of, feather wings and flying around, or a fork and a tail, and but I like that opening to it. And it is super acidy and super grungy.
I don't know if you know that Isolated channel that we listen to, Tom, that guy, Mr. John Lennon. Yeah. We've had his stuff on here before. He just uploaded recently Pete's Isolated Guitar from Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that?
Yeah.
That thing's amazing. That's an amazing track. I don't know how he does it. Okay. Okay, so this is how I feel. How you guys felt about what kind of people are they? That's how I feel about Ted End. I didn't really like it.
It's a silly song. And this is, I think I had written down, this is the one is a pretty sounding song, but it's morbid. Poor Ted dies, and his wife is with her second husband, and doesn't come to the funeral, and then his kids don't come to the funeral, and he's just there all by himself, at the funeral. So, I don't know. I like it. I think it's quirky. I think it's fun. I think it's John. I like it.
We are in death as we are in life alone. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Getting deep.
Betsy, what do you think?
It's this Eleanor Rigby, you guys. This is an Eleanor Rigby style song, and I like it. I love it.
That's weird because I really like Eleanor Rigby. Go ahead. Sorry.
It is a great little vignette about a guy who's inoffensive, didn't bother anybody, but nobody can be bothered to go to his funeral in the end. Everybody has something better to do. The horns and the vocals are on point. I love Ted End. I do. I think it's a great little quirky vignette, typical John style. And I'm on the Ted End board.
Okay. You're Mine. I love the bass line. I love the piano. I mean, it's the same thing with almost the rest of the record. It's like there's really interesting like middle eighths, bass breaks, just this whole like dripping psychedelia sound of the guitars. You know, I picture just Paisley Telecasters for some reason in a room with everybody sitting on rugs. You know what I mean? With incense everywhere. So, I mean, that's what I get when I hear most of the songs on this album. I liked it.
I thought this was the one that you could would have been a really good Who song. I think it's incredibly underrated John song. I think it's probably the flies under the radar for the best song on the album. Just the lyrics, everything. I loved it. The bass is absolutely incredible. If I could turn one of the songs in this album into a Who song that's not already a Who song, this is definitely the one I'm picking.
I assume you like it, Betsy.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is one of several songs where he's like the devil kind of thing. And it's a great punchline too, because it starts out like, you know, oh, did you do this? Well, I'm going to get you. You're going to hell. And then did you do this? Well, I'm going to get you and go to hell. And eventually it just becomes, you know, everybody's going to hell. Everybody's going. Whatever you do, you're on your way. And it's a great joke. It's a really funny joke. And he also we do some keyboard mashing in there, which I think he likes to do because he does it again on Nightmare. So on Whistle Rhymes, some mashed up keyboards. So really, this was a fun one.
Yeah, and it goes right. Doesn't it go? Is there even like a stopping point? Doesn't it go right into number 29?
Yeah, there's some backward masking there and everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, right into number 29.
And I like that. That's the one that had all the like the end of it is a bunch of instruments together in a room, and that's the one they say Keith played on and everything. And I really liked it.
Yeah, good song. Strong as well is what I wrote. Just there's a little bass solo in the end, which is nice, and then it goes in the Latin percussion, I think. But yeah, good song. I if you pair those two together and just listen to them together, it's a strong little set right there. 2 songs for sure.
For sure. Yep.
It's a funny joke. It really is, you know. And again, I think it's kind of another one of the Devil songs. And I like that Moon showed up with Viv Stansall and Neil Innes and was like, "We're here." And John's like, "Y'all aren't going to stand around acting stupid, like, right, and put him to work." You know, I wish, the only thing I could say is I wish Moon maybe, if I had some improvements to this record, I wish Moon had played drums on this record more to kind of propel things. But it's cool to see him. And like I said, you know, the Bonzo guys are also welcome, definitely.
And yeah, that's kind of like the sense of fun you kind of want on this record, and you know, Rigger takes it to the next annoying level. Sorry, I'm not trying to not trying to beat a dead coffin.
We're not taking fun here.
Speaking of all the devil and the death stuff, this has an amazing cover. Like, the album cover is pretty sick, I think. I don't know. I think it's metal. I think it goes with My Size. The sound of My Size and the sentiment of Your Mind. Yeah. Do you guys like the cover?
Yeah. Did you read what the cover is?
Yeah, it's like an X-ray with a John Entwistle death mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to see the print ad for it, it's even more nightmare-inducing. I mean, it's horrifying. Yeah. That's why he's our big bad goth dad.
Big bad goth dad?
Big bad goth dad.
The giant whistle. All right. And I believe in everything. I think it, you know, I really like the song. I like how John says that's his favorite song on the album. I don't know if that's true, but I think he was saying that in different interviews about different songs. And it just turns into a Christmas party at the end, and that's how it ends. And after that, I wanted to hear the John Entwistle Christmas record, quite frankly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's after Rudolph?
Yeah, that was I'd never heard this song, and yeah, it was just, I'm like, all right, whatever, and then like it gets towards that end where they just start naming things that they believe in, and then it goes right into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I was like, what the hell? But it was funny as shit, and it's John, so I'm down with it.
Right on. That's your last word on this one?
Yeah, I had read somewhere that they asked him like why he did this song, and it was because he was worried that because there were some devil adjacent songs earlier on the record that he didn't want to be known as the devil guy. This song is great, and I have to think too, I had read somewhere one time where Pete had gotten really into Baba and was trying to tell the other guys about it, and John would kind of roll his eyes at him. So I wonder if this was kind of a shot at that a little bit, and just the whole spirituality seekery that was happening in the 60s. And John sort of like, oh, do y'all believe in that? I believe in everything. I believe in King Kong. I believe in Mickey Mouse, you know? Right. So it's pretty much a shot. And we were talking about the Christmas record. Another thing that I found out was that at some point, Kit Lambert had floated the idea of John doing a Halloween record. And I really, really wish that had happened.
That would have been.
No, well, I mean every day is Halloween for John.
this isn't a Halloween record. I don't really know what is then. But
I really wish they had. I really wish that had come. They had been able to do that because that would have been amazing.
Didn't he literally do a song called "Music from Vampires"? I mean.
Oh no! We don't talk about vampires.
We don't talk about vampires. All right. We'll remember that for the Glenn Tipton episode.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn Tipton Cozy Pal episode.
I want to do that one. Seriously.
You know, we're going back to My Size real quick. You said you wanted to treble up a little bit, Tom. When I saw John Entwistle in 1999 in that little club,
I'm sure.
About every other thing. They go straight, you know, the tone on those things is straight like hair metal tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he does it. Which I'm not into. But, you know.
Drop the mids and just, yeah.
Yeah, just really high, like, do you want to taste it type stuff.
Fillings, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, he said at one time that he loved playing metal. He didn't like listening to it, but he loved playing it. So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But that's it, man. We did John. Okay, so Beth, you asked us to listen to a couple demo tracks, which I didn't do. Which I didn't do. Not because I didn't want to. I just, you know, I wanted to keep my mind with the songs I made on the album, and if I were to, I would have lost them. I know that this is the track listing, the bonus track listing for the thing I haven't listened to yet. It's an outtake of Cinnamon Girl. It's Hard to Write a Love Song. The Haunted Can Be Free, World Behind My Face, My Size, an Early Take, What Kind of People Are They? Probably a different mix. Pick Me Up, Big Chicken, different mix. Number 29, Eternal Youth, and Ted And. Which ones did you listen to?
I listened to all of them. The Cinnamon Girl, I love, and it's such an odd choice, kind of out of left field, but it's I think he did it on Gas Tank too. I might be wrong on that. It's on YouTube with Rick Wakeman. Okay. It's a great taste.
I see. I'm starting to see a thread here.
Yeah. But the Cinnamon Girl is not. It's really nice and grungy. It's really super cool. World Behind My Eyes is. I didn't care for it at first. It took a couple of listens, and then there's another one called "It's Hard to Write a Love Song," which I think may actually be a more complete version of World Behind My Eyes. And the Haunted or Free is sort of like there's a ghost in his house and it's a lady ghost and he likes that. But again, I can't see why it wasn't left on the album. It's all right. It's just fine. The demos are good though. So definitely the Ted N demo, listen to that because the horns are peak horns.
Okay. Big horns.
Big horns.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to me about this. I hope this is more satisfactory than our last John Entwistle review to people. It's definitely an album I'm going to listen to more.
Yeah.
I know for sure. So, smash your head against the wall. We knew it was good. We just wanted to listen and
Thumbs up.
Sure, find out for sure. Thumbs up. All right, everybody. Hopefully we'll be back soon. Thank you very much for coming over. Enjoy The Who. Listen to some. Bye.
Yeah.